1-800-FAITH-AUTO Studios.
100.7
WMMS.
Listen to the happy sound.
The Maxwell Show on 100.7 WMMS.
I got the Maxwell Show, 216-578-1007, 1-800-348-1007. It's 100.7 WMMS, and Shinedown's here.
Hello.
Welcome, gentlemen. All right, real quick, Stansberry said that you fired like half the guys because they were dopers. What?
Look, it was an internet rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but I read some things online that the band kind of cleaned up. Some of the guys refused to come along for the ride, and we have now since cut bait on some of the guys.
You got to cut bait. Is that true? What?
You know what? We're not the band that's going to throw anyone under the bus. We were together for, we'll leave that up to you guys. Throw them all under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is that, 7 years of touring and then 2 records, the road will sometimes take its toll. When we got off Us and Them, I said goodbye to Barry for a little while. I needed to go kind of get myself cleaned up because the fact of the matter is I was going on a 3.5-year addiction to Oxycontin.
That was
this time than the last
thank
time.
you, man. I'm about 11 months clean from it.
Yeah.
And I have a 6-month-old baby boy now who basically, along with him, my fiance and Barry pretty much saved my life. It just gave me a different look at the world. Man, bottom line, there were a lot of issues, man. And, when you're witnessing this thing called Shinedown that we've given our life for because we love what we do, and this is our baby, and this is what we've always done. When you witness it kind of going down, you see like the ship sinking. Nobody wants to come and see that happen. You know what I mean? No fan wants to come and watch their band like in front of them like become disheveled. Right, you guys look really good, man. You're bleeding out your nose and you can't stand up.
Cutting songs out of the set.
I mean, so. Yeah, there were issues, man, and we tried as best we could, and but when I left to go kind of start getting the record in my head as far as the actual writing, I just started to clean up, and this haze started to go away, and unfortunately nobody, there were other people that weren't coming along with that, and it was the same thing all over again, and when me and Barry just didn't want to do the same circle over again, so unfortunately, I wish it was different, but in a lot of ways I don't. Because now the band is stronger than it's ever been, even going back to when it was first formed. It's stronger now than it's ever been. Yeah. We called our friends, man. We called the people that we knew would be there for us. Me and Barry gave a phone call to Nick Perry, who was formerly of the band Silvertide.
Oh, okay.
And who is now the lead guitar player in Shinedown.
Oh, right.
And Zach Myers, who was on bass guitar for a while and then went over to rhythm guitar, went back to bass. He's been with us for a good 3 years, helping us out. We made him, finally a part of the band. He's playing rhythm guitar now. And a gentleman from South Carolina, Charleston, his name's Eric Bass, who is playing bass now, who's actually a producer up in South Carolina, and I had met with him earlier in 2007 and was doing some writing with him. he was a great guy, and he had mentioned it to me that he wanted to do it in the first place, and didn't see him for a few more months. And then once it was time to start seeing what we were going to do as far as reforming this thing and reinventing it, he was the obvious choice. And honestly, we didn't really do like a big audition thing or anything like that. Me and Barry knew the guys we wanted, and we all 5 got in a room together in Orlando, and we were like, what do you want to play? And, let's play Fly from the Inside. And it was wild because for the first time, the chorus hits, and I actually heard the harmonies that I hadn't heard for the last 6 years because it was always just me singing, because Eric sings and so does Zach. So, it's a way different show now. It's a lot bigger. And it's just, it's just been reinvented. I mean, me and Barry, we've said we haven't smiled this much in 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you, because I got the sickness too, I got like a 13 months.
Really?
I've been clean.
Gotcha.
Same drug of choice and everything. How do you keep how do you deal with it, we are in a business where everyone looks the other way, but especially someone like you. There were people that wanted to give me drugs all the time, but you, man, they're probably walking up to you constantly like, dude, 80s, 40s, whatever you want. How do you,
I locked myself in a hotel room in Jacksonville, Florida for 5 days. I screamed and I sweated and
messed your pants probably.
Pretty much, man. I didn't, I can't say that I did it, as far as, technically I didn't go into a rehab clinic and I didn't go in and get hospitalized or anything like that. I did it on my own. And, anyone OxyContin's a really, really evil drug, because it makes you think that you're Superman.
Yeah.
And we're in all reality, you're not.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I've had a couple of interviews in the past, like couple of weeks, they're like, well, man, you know what, dude, it must really, really suck, dude, because now you're clean from that. I'll have a beer every once in a while here and there, but, from that stuff, and he's like, and they were like, you're clean, it's gotta just be terrible now. Now you can't come up with anything, and you're probably not cool anymore, and all this stuff. And I was like, and I thought to myself, well, I was clean while I was making The Sound of Madness, or when me and Barry were making The Sound of Madness, and I feel like we made the greatest record of our career so far. Granted, it's only our 3rd record in. You make a choice, and I didn't mean to not answer your question. You have to make a choice, man, especially when my son was born, when I had him in my arms, for the first time, there's an overwhelming feeling of the fact that, all of a sudden it is no longer about you anymore.
Yeah.
It is only about, this little boy and his mother. And, I put Barry through hell, man, because anyone that knows Barry knows that he's never done drugs, and he's never done drugs.
Rare rock players that doesn't do them. I drink occasionally, but I think that's what's also helping keep him clean now. Not only does he want to, but he's surrounded by a bunch of guys that don't do it.
Barry used to have to go in my bunk at night and stuff like that just to make sure I was still breathing.
Oh, yeah. That's what my wife would do. Yeah.
Every morning, and I'd roll the individuals over that needed to be rolled over and go back to bed.
Well, like I said, there's a major difference in you this time than the last time they were here. I think you were leaned up against the wall, were very non-talkative, wanted to get the hell out of here. And so, there's a major difference, and that's good, dude. That's good to see.
And I apologize for that, man. I really do. No, man, because you know what? When people come to see the show, and we have the most amazing fans in the world, and that's not a cliche for us. They're just really outstanding individuals, and it's a disrespect to them to not be on your game. They support you from day one, and they have, especially everybody here in Cleveland. And it's just a lack of respect for them. And not that we disrespected them, but if I'm out there and I'm messed up out of my mind, that's the worst thing in the world I can do. And I'm not that guy anymore, and like I said, the band's stronger than it's ever been, and we want people to understand that we had to make changes, but we made the changes so that this thing called Shinedown would live on. That's the biggest point.
It is amazing, at least this is what my experience was, is that I didn't know what it felt like to have a soul until I lost it to that drug. Did you feel the same, Ed? Like you walk around as a shell of a person, and your only goal is, how am I going to get more? And that's all that you're fixated on. And I remember just this feeling like I could never tell you what it felt like to have a soul until I lost it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Until I was at my bottom. And same thing with me. I had a daughter. Same thing.
Right.
I mean, that was kind of the catalyst that got me clean and sober.
Yeah, I mean, it's a life-changing thing, you know. I always felt like after I got over it, I always felt like I was in a bubble, and I was fine in that bubble. But once the air got let out of it, and then I'm thrusted out to the rest of the world, I was like, oh, no, I don't like this. I don't